What is up, my friends? So I'm back with the Valeton GP. I was angry I couldn't get it to work with the 4-cable method. I will not be defeated. So I figured it out. You guys ready to hear the Splawn overdrive and the Splawn clean with the GP? I'm telling you, it's dangerous. It sounds freaking awesome. Back and reference it to the other videos. Oh my God, this is monstrous. I'm gonna tell everybody right now, run, do not walk. Get a Valeton Gp200 and get to one of these heads. Holy crap. I'm literally on the volume I had before, and this is pushing air. I'm not even using my Steve Stevens. It probably would sound even better with the Steve Stevens, but there's no need. So I go into the overdrive, right? So now you see, I don't know if you can see, it's got that. So we'll do it like this. That's my clean channel, right? So now watch. Oh my goodness, word. This thing is freaking amazing. Here's That's ridiculous. This thing is so freaking good. I'm gonna save that because I like it. Save on my solo. Solo channel works on that too. Again, hit that button. Let me tell you, I haven't run my fractal 4 cable in that, but I don't even need to. This right here is enough for me to 4 cable into that head. The only thing that probably I would say about all processors, and the reason why I couldn't figure this out, so let me explain why I couldn't figure this out first. I had the cables in right, but I was getting no sound. So I had to up the patch volume. But when I did the patch volume, I had to go and turn the master volume all the way up. So when your volume of the master is turned all the way up, it's like your pedals are on full because you're running through the loop. I wasn't thinking I was just thinking of it as a master volume instead of opening it all the way so nothing was closed and all the sound was getting through. That was the key. But here's the problem. If you want to have patches for just running straight into the PA, patches with running into the amp or the amp and PA, you would have to set, they say there's a way to set the cab on so that you're running the XLR into the front of house, and you could leave the cab patch on in here through that one channel, and then have the cab off running through the effects loop, effects in, return. I don't know if you have to manipulate the settings, because for me, when I was running through the PA, I had to alter that setting to run direct into the effects loop. I'm sure this is with all processors, so it's not just the GP that I'm talking about, it's probably the Fractal and everything else. So now when I run the GP or the Fractal probably into the return, you have to go and re-EQ everything because it's not the same. You're running through a cab, so the cab gets involved. So you got to take the cab off, and you're running the preamp and the amp through here, and that's just a power amp. But you got a cab and you're pushing, which sounds good. But now the volume's already cranked all the way. So now before it acted like a master volume. Now you're opening the pedals wide open so that the pedals come through. So if you're not careful, and let me repeat this again, if you're not careful, you have three types of patches, one for the PA, one for the return effects, and one for a 4-cable method. Don't forget to always turn the volume down, because if I run this into right into the return, like all I'd have to do is unplug 2 cables and the cable into the send, I'll probably go deaf. That'll be wide open with no control. So the master on that does not work when you're running that through the effects loop. This is now the master. But on the 4-cable, you have to turn it wide open to get the 4-cable method to work, and that's what I couldn't figure out. But now that it is running, I'll tell you right now, this is the way to go. No doubt. So, for me, I'll have separate patches. If I play live again, I'll have separate patches to run straight into the board in case this goes down. And then I'll have another set of scenes just for the amp. And really, it's just one because it's the effects. So I don't have to have 5 patches for this. Although you probably could set this up. No, I don't know if you could. You probably could do a solo boost right off this channel without having to clip that, but who cares? It's just another pedal. And if you have a control on, you can turn the overdrive on and off. So like even if I turn the distortion off, it's just like running the amp. Now when I got it on, man, I can't tell you how good that sounds. That's unbelievable sound. It really is. So now, like, if I turn, see, watch. I turn the volume off, and if you turn it a little bit, nothing. This is what I couldn't figure out. The wider you turn that, to get the full use of the volume off of this. Unbelievable. So, I'm not going to do a super long video. 10 minutes I get is a good enough video for you guys, I think. And this is, again, the 4-cable method. So I'm using the amp channels, and the preamp in here, that's their overdrive. The only thing from here that's going in front of that is a noise gate with the overdrive pedal that's built into this. The chorus, delay, and reverb are going into the effects loop, and I can channel switch with the other. So there you go. Now you probably could go, I don't know if there's a way, I don't think that head's MIDI, but let me see. Okay, so here's the other thing. This isn't a MIDI head, but this has MIDI out. If this was a MIDI head, like a EVH50, that can channel switch that. So as I hit the patches, I could use these and set these controls up for switching the channels. So I could go to clean and have the patches. So when I go to the clean channel I want in the scene, it would take that channel to clean in one shot. You can do this with that pedal, but you have to have a head that accepts MIDI. And I have to look at the back of the head again, but I'm pretty sure this head isn't MIDI. So, but who cares? That sounds great. Again, I don't need a lot for that. So there you go. 4-cable method figured out. I will not be beaten. I'm angry, but now I'm happy because that sounded amazing. So any questions about that and how I ran 4-cable, just so you guys know. So the line out of this is exactly like if I ran just the pedal board in the effects loop. So my line out goes into the return. Now the send goes into the return of this, and the send of the board goes into front of amp. And that's it. That's your 4-cable method. Again, line out mono into return. The send comes into the return, and my send here goes into front of amp. That's all you do. And then you plug straight into the board. That's your 4-cable method. Easy peasy. And that's for any processor. So there you go. Peace.